But you know what's another interesting stock that um, has gotten hammered? And I am going to admit this, it's going to sound a little bit evil, but I'm a little bit happy it is that's Peloton.
Why?
I just never liked the business model, and just seeing it rise. It's almost like, you know how people see Tesla rise and they say evaluation, blah blah blah, and they start getting mad at it. And it's kind of like that where it's Peloton is like that for me, where the business model I think is terrible. I think
I mean, the
the
subscription piece.
well, you're paying for an overpriced
Mhm.
bike with a screen, then you have subscription, and um, the consumer the consumer part of that makes no sense, because at least what I kind of know and believe in is you need more than pretending you're cycling with other people virtually to continue doing this thing, like
Mhm.
continuing um, in on this path of health. So that never made any sense.
I think in the context of a pandemic, though, it made so much sense.
In the
And I think,
context of a pandemic, they got extremely lucky.
yeah,
It was the only way that it saw the rise that it did. So I completely agree with you there.
So,
Um,
but I see.
yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know about the leadership team and how innovative they are. I see a future where all of the fitness is done like that. There is no
I
good life.
agree.
There is no YMCA. Everything is from your home through a social experience with some devices. I don't know if Peloton is gonna win that battle or not. I don't know how good they are at this thing. They got really lucky to your point last year. But there is a massive industry there that someone is gonna exploit.
so I will say I completely disagree. I don't think that
Ah,
that's the future. I don't think the future of like exercising, like this whole social exercising, will last. And I'm
tell
it's
me
not
more.
about well, I don't think it's not about digitizing it. It's not about ease of being able to do this in your home. The evidence that I use to form this opinion is from years and years of going to the gym and seeing the um, the group classes that people can go to, and it's the same thing over and over again, which is, oh yeah, great, I feel amazing. Let's we're all gonna go together, and they feel great, and then it just almost becomes like a math problem.
Mhm.
You go with five people, one of them starts dropping out, then the rest of the group starts feeling like less inclined to go, then it's like three people going, then it's those type, like you need more of a motivation than going with people. So that's the social aspect, to keep this going. The way I basically would describe it is, if you're not motivated to kick your own ass every single day, you're not going to
Mhm.
last, like in long term uh fitness and health. You have to be you have to enjoy kicking your own ass. And
I I I see your point. I think all of the things you're saying is valid for a very small percentage of people who have fitness goals, some fitness goals like yourself.
right,
But I think if you look at the whole market,
yeah,
no one cares if you drop out. Like fitness is something that people pick up one day, they get bored tomorrow. That's okay.
well,
The
that's my
part,
point.
the,
But
the
that's my
part.
point.
Mhm.
Right,
So,
because if
so
you
but
drop out, you stop paying.
that's okay though. So the part that the market is going to get disrupted is in the 2020, before pandemic, you would go to your car, drive to a gym called Good Life, pay monthly membership, go there. And to your point, sometimes you go, sometimes you forget about it. They charge you for a while, then you stop
Mhm.
it, then you pick up another time. But it is a massive industry. Even if you cancel it for a while and come back to it after a couple of months, that market is going to get disrupted with everything at home, with some sort of smart devices that are making this more fun. It doesn't need to be always Krishna that I'm playing, that I'm working out with, because Krishna may have kids and he doesn't he's not on time all the time. But today I'm motivated at 6 o'clock, and there's
Mhm.
3,000 people who are doing the same squat exercise with me. Let's do it together with the same music on the same beat. That to me is a real thing that will happen. And I don't think we are gonna, in 10 years we are gonna go to good life. Those good massive gym ones completely will go away. They either have to provide you some sort of a community like CrossFit or yoga. It's a religion, it's a cult. We are in this together and we do this thing together every day in the same routine. Or if it's by my own time on my own schedule, gone.
I I
Peloton
I,
Plus.
I will disagree, and I'll tell you the equation, the variable in the equation that I think changes this is um, equipment is expensive, right? So now you could argue and say, yeah, there's going to be exercises where you don't need equipment, right? Or very minimal equipment. It's just maybe yoga,
Or the
like it's a
price will
yoga
go
mat.
down, or the price of equipment will go down.
I don't think it will, because uh, the price, like the price of weights, never go down, right? It doesn't matter.
Or they definitely do. A squat rack 2010 for me myself was more than $1,000. Right now there are options less than 500 because the demand is much higher for people who want to have a personal gym. 10 years ago, a personal gym was a luxury. Today, that's not luxury. Almost every other person that I know has one now. So
Well,
the
I
demand
think
and
the
supply.
quality, yeah, but I think, well, from what I'm seeing, the squat work, like I can't find a good squat rack for $500, but I'm sure a squat rack
Good enough
exists,
for an average person, right?
right? It probably exists. But what about like weights, right? Like, and then the other hurdle besides the cost of the equipment, and sure, maybe maybe a trend continues and it continues to go down a little bit. But here's the thing about the weights. Um, it's like the price of metal isn't gonna go down to the point where I think it's gonna be widely accessible. But let's just say you get through that hurdle. The second hurdle is the space in people's homes. I think in people's homes, people can't get a personal like a home gym set up really easily. So I think those two big hurdles will yield. There will always be a good life in our
Interesting.
neighborhoods. That's what I
Interesting.
think. And again, that's, we're not really talking about the social aspect of it all that much, but maybe again, there's a market there that gets established where it's obviously has to be subscription based um, for viability, that forgoes all the equipment. Who knows?
Interesting. I will say last thing, and then maybe Krishna, you can wrap it up. I agree that yes, for some people, there is, like, a lot of people live in apartments. There is no extra basement for weights, but there is a space for a rowing machine. And maybe you only contribute to this new industry only with rowing, and when you get bored of the rowing, you sell that on Kijiji since it's so much easy to do that, and you buy a bike or sell the bike. Or have you seen these new dumbbells that are, you just press a button and it changes the weight, so you don't have
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you don't need a lot of space for your dumbbells. It's only this amount of space. So I'm thinking something like that, but who knows. Where are you, Krishna, on this?
So interesting. I like kind of went back and forth between, but I think you both have like really solid arguments.
You
I
must pick
was
one.
no, like I at first I was probably more strongly aligned with Cena, but
I
um
lost you.
no, like I think that there is a natural like it feels like the end result should be that everyone can work from home. Like, you know, it's like it's kind of like working from home. I mean, um, you imagine some far future, you put on your VR headset or AR headset, you've got a few pieces of equipment, and it's kind of like, cool, I'll create a personalized workout for you. And look at all the people that are working out with you. That's motivation. Uh, there's some AI who talks to you, who like keeps you focused on your routine, whatever. And sure, is this going to be how like bodybuilders train? No, like they're going to have a personal trainer, they're going to go to a physical gym.
For sure.
But the
Mhm.
masses, I think this seems more aligned. It seems like again, just a low cost, low barrier to entry. Um, it feels very less intimidating, much less intimidating compared to like going to a gym and signing up for a year long, you know, whatever membership. So that's where I see like the masses could move towards more of a home gym setup with like minimal equipment. Um, but I hear your point too. Like I think for certain types of
Mhm.
working out, there's always going to be a gym. Like the
True.
hockey players are not going to be just training at
That's
home
true.
by themselves. Also, injury is a thing, right? Like you can pretty easily injure yourself if you don't know what you're doing with some of this equipment. So
Mhm.
like, you know, how do you protect against that? Um, yeah, any kind of squat rack is probably going to be dangerous for the average person,
Average user, for
right?
sure.
So, yeah, it's probably a mix, but I could really see the home fitness industry like grow, 10x or more than that, maybe much more.
So
So I think
time to buy
Peloton,
Peloton or no?
I would say Peloton has a future. Uh, but I don't know. I don't think I know the industry well enough to invest.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. See, Knight, this is what you buy. You buy puts. That's what you do.